Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Avernum 6. Last episode, we basically took a look at this area around here and cleared out what we could and pre-completed the job board quests that there were for Gnass that we found outside. We had some extra time, so we did so. Also, I just noticed we leveled up recently. Ortas. Strength. It shall go higher. Wow. Parry and Blade Master are so high? Huh. I didn't even notice. When did that happen? Never mind. Save up will improve something later. And Rika, your strength is at 5. I find that acceptable. Higher mage spells would be nice. Spellcraft, I think. Spellcraft to 5, I think, is acceptable. Alright, moving in. You step across the bridge and into the village of Gnass. This has for many years been the largest settlement of friendly Sliths in Avernum. The hostile tribes have, at times, been larger. The paths of Gnass are lined with statues, some dating back to the earliest days of Avernum, of honored Sliths of days past. Sliths greatly revere their ancestors and observe their memories by memorializing them in stone. As you enter the village, all the Sliths from the youngest to the oldest, watch you nervously. Sadly, in dark times, you can always count on some Avernites blaming the lizard people for their problems. In this time of famine and war, the problem is unusually bad, especially considering that the war is against savage Sliths. Trapdoor, not gonna go down it right now. The Sliths guards of Gnass are not hostile to you. They are officially soldiers of Avernum, after all, but they are very alert. The fear of humans blaming Gnass for the troubles of Avernum is a constant one, and the guards are constantly on watch for an angry mob. Yeah, I can understand that. There are a few farmers in this village looking after the withered crops and emaciated lizards. They look weak and thin, and they pointedly avoid outsiders. Right. Just a couple warriors in there. Gnass Smithy, fine crafts, all races welcome. Hey! There is a single Slith smith at this forge. He is working like a demon. Sweat pours down his arms and his chest as he puts the final touches on one of the traditional two-tine spears, which will join the bristling arsenal on the wall. When he puts the final touch on the points of his spear and cools it off in the pool, he turns to you. Greetings. I am Efsin, the smith of Gnass, until I depart. It's quite a collection of weaponry. Yes, I am abandoning my village and going to the surface. Before I go, I have promised Sliths that I will provide all of the weapons they need to defend themselves against attackers, from the Horde or otherwise. The Horde? You mean the Slith Horde? Yes. The barbarians hate us more than they hate the humans. If they ever break through to the Great Cave, they will attack us as soon as they can. When this happens, we will collapse the bridges, and we will be ready. From otherwise, who else might attack you? He looked south toward the Great Cave. Who knows who might hate us Sliths enough to raid us? But whoever does, we will be ready. Epson drinks water and mops his skin with a towel as he speaks with you. He is clearly eager to return to his work. Yes? What else would you like from me? I have much to do before I go. You are impressed by the row of quality spears on the wall. There are a lot of them, and the Sliths are traditionally excellent blacksmiths. You are leaving? Yes, I am. My token in the lottery has been picked. When my work is done here, I go to the Great Portal. I will go to Upper Avernum, though I am scared to be so close to the Empire. Tell me about the lottery. It happens in the large towns. Mine was at the castle. Those who wish to use the Great Portal can enter once a year. A few are picked and they get to use the portal within that year. So many want to use the portal that it takes great fortune to be picked in the lottery now. Why are you afraid of the Empire? Once, under the rule of Emperor Hawthorne, the Empire murdered my kind, along with the Nephilim and all magical creatures. Emperor Redmark says this will not happen again. I am not sure, but it is better than starving. They didn't even know you existed until they went to Avernum. The Sliths were not even in the surface. They don't like it. Why do you want to leave? He stares down at the floor. I was not brave enough, and I think there is not future, not anymore. If I will live a life and raise young, it must be on the surface. It is a sad, hard truth. Not all have faced it. Well, there have been arguments on both sides. Can I purchase some of your goods? A load of spears. None we need, I think. Something to sell, though. I see. I am no tinker, but there is one of your kind, my cousin, who trades in front of the castle gates. A short walk away. You should talk to her. Okay, then. That's all I need. Then I bid you good day. And he instantly returns to work. There's statues being made. Though this Slith is clearly quite old, he is still in remarkable shape. Decades of wielding picks and hammers and helping to shift massive statues have left him the physique of a Slith half his age. When you approach him, he is working on a statue. A huge, shapeless lump of rock lies before him. He is going at it with a pick, slowly and painstakingly whittling it into a crude approximation of his subject. The detail work, many hours of it, will then begin. When you get close, however, he happily takes a break. He drops the pick, takes a drink of water, and says, "Greetings, soldier of Avernum. I am Akatos, crafter of Gnass, until I die." What are you working on? It is a statue of our chieftain, of Blacksmith. All of our chieftains, they are remembered on the Shrine Island. So many statues to make, so few years remaining. He looks sadly at all of the half-finished works around him, eager to resume his labors. You are making a statue of Blacksmith while he is still alive? Of course. How else will I get the perfect likeness? He does not mind. He knows when he dies, a statue of him will remain. It is a true honor. I see no reason to not have a statue. Who are these other statues of? Of learned sages and warriors. Of Pathas, our beloved priest, and one of Sliths, the savage warlord, as a warning to those who would follow the ways of war. We stoneworkers keep the history of our people. If we do not remember the lost, they might be forgotten. Fair enough. Alright. Is there anything else you require, soldier? Otherwise, my labors will resume. In my time left, there is much to do. Tell me about your craft. It is of great importance to our kind. The statues of a tribe tell its story. When a tribe falls in war, if the victors wanted to have total victory, to wipe its foes forever from the world, they destroy the statues. To me it falls to make sure what should be remembered is remembered. Who decides who should be immortalized? I do, but I listen to others. Only a foolish stoneworker ignores the will of the tribe. Do you only make statues of those you honor? No, I also make statues of those we should remember, because they are important in our history, or because we can learn from remembering them. One day when the Slith Horde has been destroyed, I will make statues of their leaders. Who are the leaders of the Horde? Krezius, the Shadow, their spy and assassin. Kavasaos, the Impaler, their battle chieftain. And Escalin, the Man-Burner, their wizard. Those three warlords are the twisted leaders of the Horde. For their evil, for the destruction they have caused, I will make sure they are remembered. And we will probably end up having to kill all three of them. You'll spend the rest of your life here. Yes. Others would flee. To the portal. To other towns. To the Horde. But this is where my life's work is. Here I will stay. Some flee to the Horde. A few. Some of us believe the lies of the Slith Horde. They betrayed our kind. I would not speak of them. And what if the Slith Horde comes to the Great Cave? Then I will die at the feet of my statues. Those creatures will then see what it means to be a true Slith. Very well then. I will leave you to your work. Couple more Slith farmers. Can't take any of their fruit, of course. Can't go up there. Breeding pools, please watch your step. This is the village's breeding pool. Infant Sliths after hatching, spend their time in the water. They only emerge onto land after a few years of life. Dozens of the tiny fanged creatures frolic in the fresh water. Their nearby Sliths instantly becomes very alert when you enter this building. You move carefully, making sure not to step on anything precious. You deliver a load of fresh limbs to Pelinath. She thanks you and throws one of them into the pool. It is torn apart by a swarm of Slith Young. You are rewarded with a large pouch of silver coins. This young Slith is in charge of watching the young hatchlings. Caring for toddlers is already difficult work. When they have razor-sharp fangs and a tendency to go for your legs, it is even more difficult. Still, she is able to take a moment's break from herding the little carnivores back into the pool to speak with you.
Welcome, soldier. Glassfist told me to welcome you if you arrived. I am Belinath, the brood mother.
A small Slith, only a foot tall, tries to sink its teeth into her foot. A single deft motion sends the hungry little beast back into the pool. It looks like difficult work.
Once I could lie. I have done this enough years to be honest. We love our young, but they...
A young Slith snuck up on her and attacked her calf. She makes it go away.
But we were all so young once. We owe it to them to give them the care we received.
Do they ever actually hurt you?
You mean enough to need a visit to the priestess? No, we Sliths have tough skin.
Yeah, I suppose it makes sense that you'd have it in order to take care of, well, babies with such sharp teeth. I see you're young, but where are your eggs? She seems nervous.
They are hidden, near here, but well. In these unsettled times, Glassfist thought it was for the best to keep them safe.
Pelinath speaks with you while she looks after the Slith Young. She hands out bits of meat, caresses, and harsh discipline in equal measures. The young Sliths almost never join forces and attempt to swarm her. The other Sliths seemed nervous when I entered this place.
Can you blame them? The breeding pool is the heart and future of any tribe.
Have you been able to get enough food for your young?
That is a difficult question. It is why Glassfist said I should welcome any envoys from Avernum. I need help. We need help, if you can spare it.
I'll help you if I can.
I am glad. By order of the castle, we are supposed to receive constant shipments of meat. The young need it. We are supposed to get them from Darman, but the quartermaster there, Puvner, he has not sent them. You are a warrior. They will listen to you. Go there and find Puvner and get our shipments again.
You don't have enough meat here.
No, we wish we did. We have done all we can to catch enough fish and raise enough lizards, but there is not enough. In some of Avernum, they do not want to give up meat even to save children. Our children.
Have you spoken to Puvner?
We have sent Sliths to Darman to see him, but he would not see them. And Darman, it was not a friendly place to be. But you they might see.
We'll definitely work on that. For the children! When you step onto the small island, everything suddenly becomes very quiet. Even the sound of the river flowing by becomes muted. Time seems to pass a little slower here. The path forks just ahead. One fork leads to statues of Chieftains of Gnass from decades past. There is a well-used prayer mat in front of each one where the Sliths can come to pray for guidance. The other fork leads to a small shrine. You can see a lone figure kneeling within. This young Slith shaman is kneeling and meditating before a shrine to someone named This. You leave him alone. Of course. And you we must speak with. You tell Elias of Coep's death.
I believe in peace, but I believe in justice more. Coep murdered my student. This had to be done.
She rewards you with several scrolls from her shelves. Hey. When you arrive at the temple, services are not currently in session. The young priestess sits before the altar, lost in meditation. She occasionally rises to tend to a brazier or read a scroll. Fortunately, she doesn't mind visitors in the shrine, though she does make sure the bottoms of your boots are clean.
I welcome you in peace, visitor.
Her speech is unaccented and lacks the Sliths sibilance.
I welcome you to this place of in these troubled times. This is a place of healing and learning, and as we would help you, we may need assistance in return.
Tell me about your faith.
We Sliths revere the spirits of our ancestors, and the spirits that exist in all things, alive and dead. We are peaceful creatures. Well, many of us are. Some have never turned from the old barbarian ways. They are the savage ones, and they must be fought.
You revere all of your ancestors?
We do, good and bad. Those who are evil we forgive in death, and we let them teach us what paths to avoid. That is why you will find so many statues of the cruel warlord Sliths, who had to be killed in the early days of Avernum.
How long have you been priestess here?
10 years, since my mentor, Pathos, died. He was wise. I have made sure that one day there will be a statue of him.
So there are savage and peaceful Sliths?
This is not surprising, I think. Is not the same thing true of humanity?
It is indeed. Elias motions for you to spend more time sitting with her. She brews some tea and smiles calmly.
Why else would you speak with me? Comfort? Knowledge? We of Gnass wish to show that we offer only peace.
This island is very peaceful.
Yes, it is important to have sanctuaries in time of war. Our young warriors often come here for one final blessing before they go fight the Slith Horde.
You send warriors to fight the Horde?
Of course. We hate those rapacious barbarians as much as the rest of Avernum does. More because they dishonor our kind. Every generation it falls to Gnass to again prove we are a loyal part of Avernum. Thus our young go to fight on its behalf. And die.
What can you teach me?
When I am not providing guidance, I spend my time in learning and reflection. I even frequently travel to Patrick's Tower for further study. I can teach you about lore, or I can teach you useful rituals. Anything to be useful to those who defend or learn Avernum.
I'd like to learn lore. Arcane and nature lore. Don't need to know it right now. What about magical rituals? Word of thoughts. Very needed, I think. The rest of it we can leave for now. By the way, I found this scroll. It seems to have Slith writing on it. She takes the scroll and examines it closely.
Yes, this is Slith writing. An old style. A tribal style. Not something used by civilized. Oh. Oh dear.
She slowly deciphers it.
It is from the pen of Kresis, the Shadow, one of the 3 warlords of the Slith Horde. It is to a goblin? A creature of that status writing a goblin. Peculiar.
What does it say?
It is instructions. In return for aid, for money and magical trinkets, the goblin would harass the people of the Great Cave. It shows that the Slith Horde has an influence even down here. Though we have already learned that, much to our loss. You have done well bringing this to me. The castle will want to know what you have learned.
We will tell them quite immediately and soon. You mentioned that you need assistance.
Yes, I have nothing to say now, but should you ever have cause to aid our chieftain, come and speak with me. It will be to your benefit.
We're going to speak with your chieftain right now, actually. Chieftain's hut. Glassfist is pleased to hear that the salamander is dead.
It is one less thing for those who wish us ill can use against us.
He rewards you with a delicate silver charm.
It is Slith work. It will serve you well.
Nimble chain. +1 to gymnastics. To you. Also, you leveled up. Strength improve. I should not have hit escape. There we go. There. Now you'll be able to carry things. You can wear this girdle. You can wear that one. And you can still wear that one. There. The Chieftain of Gnass sits cross-legged before you, staring deeply into a bonfire. The rug he sits on is completely threadbare, more patches than cloth. Chieftains have been resting on it since the first days of Gnass. The chieftain himself is old and literally withered. His skin is more gray than green, dry and covered with dozens of long, shallow scratches. He is exhausted. Only his powerful will keeps him sitting upright and facing visitors. He motions for you to sit.
I am Sliths, he says in a quiet, raspy voice. Soldiers of Avernum are always welcome here. Our kind never has anything to hide. How can I help you?
Tell me about Gnass.
We are a settlement of Sliths Young, honest, loyal, peaceful creatures, loyal to Avernum. We have been allies to the crown since the earliest days, and now in these days of the Slith Horde we are loyal as ever. I am Chieftain here, and I have been for many long years. Though we are often accused of crimes, we have ever been open and friendly.
As he speaks, he scratches his chin with a single claw. It leaves a long, thin scratch. It seems like a nervous habit and a sign of how upset he is despite his calm speech. What are you accused of?
What are we not? Some say we made the Blight, as if we would want to starve ourselves as well. Some say we secretly support the Slith Horde, as if we could have anything in common with those mad, vicious creatures.
You notice that his speech has developed an almost human quality. It lacks the sibilance of the other Slith Young. He probably learned to speak this way to seem more trustworthy to outsiders.
But we will outlast, and the humans will see that we are their allies once again.
What do you think of the Slith Horde? He chuckles, trying to seem casual as he digs his claws lightly into his knees.
You ask us that. They all ask us that. If the Slith Horde comes to the Great Cave, they will kill us as surely as they will kill all the humans. No more, surely. They hate us that much. They see us as traitors.
How long have you been leader here?
25 long years. I am aging. It is time soon, time for me to step down, but...
But what?
It is not time to discuss it now. Things are in flux. I cannot say more.
Slith sits upright, watching you with milky eyes. Even for a Slith, he seldom blinks. You sometimes have to look away from his constant, unbroken gaze.
How else may Gnass aid you, soldier of Avernum?
The only sign of his great inner turmoil is that he occasionally runs a claw down his forearm or thigh, leaving a shallow scratch. It is a nervous habit. You doubt he notices that he's doing it. Can I get supplies here?
We have little food to trade to outsiders. We generate only enough fruit, fish, and meat to feed ourselves, and then only barely. However, if that sin is he's still here, he might be willing to sell you his metalwork.
I am here to help you.
You are. My requests to the castle, they have been received? I'm glad. I require aid, desperately. There has been a disaster. My son, Trevius, he has left, fled Gnass, and joined with other... He is flirting with joining cultists, and the Horde. He must be found and made to see the madness of his ways, rescued. If outsiders learn the secret of what my foolish son has done, it will be a disaster. It will risk us all.
Why did Trevius leave?
This is a quiet thing. Nobody should be told. The Slith Horde sent an agent here. I did not know. Under cover of night, the creature came several times and tried to lure the disloyal away with tales of a mighty Slith empire. My son was always... He has always wanted a loftier place for our kind. Not to exist with the other races, but to... He has had ambitions. I was unable to convince him of the folly of those dreams.
Do you know who came here?
One of my people who met the creature and did not leave said he claimed to be Is, the Shadow, one of the 3 warlords of the Slith Horde. I do not believe it, but I suppose it is possible.
It is. He has been in the area, after all. Where did Trevius go?
He fled in the night, taking only his spear and a single satchel of possessions with him. In one thing we were fortunate. He left a note behind. Forgot it, I suppose. The note told him to go to the honeycomb of tunnels in the southwest of Almaria, and that a concealed door was past the crumbling statue.
I don't know more than that. I think I know where that is. And the note was left behind?
Yes. It was odd, even suspicious. Although my son has never had a devious or complex mind. Though now that I think about it, there is one more thing I should mention. The note was signed Kadroth Benttail. Probably a fake name, but worth mentioning.
Why must this be kept secret?
Because Gnass is already the subject of much distrust. Constant distrust. As certain people found out that the son of the Chieftain was consorting with the Slith horde. We of Gnass have always shared a nightmare. It begins with a horde of angry humans with torches running across our bridges. It ends in nothingness. This must be prevented, even if my son must.
He shakes his head. What do I need to do when I find Trevius? There is a long pause. This is difficult for him to say. He scratches the backs of his hands nervously as he speaks.
I think that the cultists of the enemy horde clouded his mind. If you can, convince him to return. If he comes back now, peacefully, all will be forgiven. A burst of youthful foolishness.
And if he does not return peacefully?
Then, he is a traitor, and he must suffer the fate he has chosen. That is all I have to tell you. Find him. Find my son. As long as he is with the forces of the Slith horde, those vile creatures, as long as he is with them, alive or dead, there is no rest for me. Go now and leave me.
We shall. But first, you had something to tell us. You mentioned that you need assistance, Elias.
Yes, you are aiding our chieftain. You are hunting the cultists that lured away his son. When Trevius left, he took something of mine, a set of scrolls. I want them back.
Tell me more about Trevius.
I hesitate to speak ill of one of our tribe, especially the son of the chieftain, but you should know he was never a wise child, or patient, or understanding that the true path of our people is one of coexistence with other races. Glesvis always had a blind spot with that boy, and now we all may pay for it.
Do you know anything about the cultists?
There have always been a few of us who longed for the dark old days of Sisyphus and the power of the Sliths tribes. A few of them hide in the Great Cave, and now they aid the Slith horde. This dark cult is led by Kadroth Benttail. He is a warped creature. It would be best if he became one of our ancestors. The most good that one could provide is as a cautionary example.
So tell me more about these scrolls.
Trevius stole them as he fled while I slept. I have asked Glesvis for help in regaining them, but he thinks of nothing but his child, so I turn to you. I think they will be found in the chambers of the cult. They are 5 scrolls of drakeskin bleached white, telling tales of warriors of days long gone. No magic, but great symbolic value. I will reward you personally for their return.
Alright, and I'm going to have to end this episode here. I don't know how long it's going to be with how much I was cutting out due to running back and forth due to my nose. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me today. Next episode, we're going to take a look at the area to the north. We'll look at the area around what's it called? Around Elmaria, maybe? Or maybe just go to immediately take care of this. But we'll figure that out in the next episode. So until then, I'm Jester44. That is Ortas, Michael, Amar, and Rika. This has been an Avernum's Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.